in preparing presentations to teach has been very, very helpful for me. I've tried to convince my current headmaster to let me do the current version that they have now, because 2006 was quite a long. 2006 that was a long time ago. So I'm trying to get that upgrade. So definitely, I agree with Petros and I agree with Brett. We need to be developing ourselves as well to stay ahead of the technology curve. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you how to teach a lesson based on something I got from eLearner. We were talking about the My Body lesson, Brett, and that's the one that I picked. It's the first lesson, volume 1. But this is what I've done with it. Okay, in the lesson, you're basically teaching children, or they're learning about their body, which is great, and then they're learning how to label things in Microsoft Word. Fantastic. Now, I've said, I've got grade 7s, they're about to write their exams. I need to do a quick revision on them being able to label things in Microsoft Word. So I've taken the basic outline and the idea that's there, and I've adapted it now to my computer lesson, and then I've also now changed it from my body to environmental science. So I did sit down with a grade 7 teacher and said, look, what are you guys doing? What are you doing that I can use, that we can create a diagram with? And they said, look, we're doing there's a water cycle and there's a food web. That comes in grade 7 exams. So we have food web, label this, what's a producer, what's a consumer. Grab the textbook, had a look at it, great. It involves preparation, it involves time. I won't lie to you. Okay, these guys are coming up and they say, oh, do this class teacher participation. Sounds fantastic, but it takes time. And it's definitely worth it. Because when the kids come to the lab and they have a great lesson and they go out there and they're talking about it, and they're talking to their class teachers, you see that we are making a positive impact. So my lesson is titled Organizing and Presenting Information, which is what I'm teaching the children. So I have my slideshow up. We start the lesson. Or we can skip the menu. Right, we've got a lesson starter that we have. So instead of doing touch typing, we have this game. We're talking about maths. What happens in the game at 1, people comes to the class and they're racing cars. So as they get questions correct, the car either moves forward. If they get it wrong, it moves back. And the kids are excited. I want to get a faster time. I want to get the questions correct. If they come out in the top 3, they're able to print a certificate for this. Now, this is available online, and I understand that there are many challenges. Some people are not online. But it's just a quick starter. 2-3 minutes, the guys are there. The kids want to get to class early because they might be the one playing the game. They want to get settled down and not fool around with the machine because it's more fun when you do it on the interactive whiteboard. So something to get them started, we're good to go. Done some maths already. Our class objectives. What are we learning today? We need to tell the children what they're going to learn so that they prepare to learn. Okay, they shouldn't be surprised every other corner. So what are we learning today? And we stick to that. You know, sometimes if you go onto the internet, children want to go left, right, center. So we say, no, what are we, if they know what they're learning, they will stay within the parameters. So yes, we're learning to use text boxes to for diagrams. We're going to insert page borders, and also going to show an awareness for the need of quality in our work. All right, I'm not going to rush through my work and just send it in. Okay, like I said, these are also grade 7s, you have to bear in mind. So with the grade 4s or the grade 5s, it will be a lot more scaled down. All right, Jake, then we've got our keywords, which is also called tech talk. What are the keywords? What are the words that I want you to use? Now, what I say to them is that as we talk about what we're doing today, use these words. Text box, insert tab. You know, our children are very skillful on these machines. They know what to do. But ask them to tell you what they're doing. Move that thing there. You know, no, wait. Where's the start button? It's in the bottom left-hand corner. They should be able to articulate that. Click on the office button, select this tab, insert. That's the language and the vocabulary they should be using as they are using the machine, as they communicate with one another. So like, right guys, these are the new words. Any new words? Yes, no? Right, we're going to use them today in our lesson. Right, we move on. Right, we have a diagram here on the board. What's going on here? Kids will talk, oh, there's this, there's that. Okay, fantastic. Let's get into groups. Sometimes I like to give them group work for a quick 3-minute discussion. Get into groups of 2. How can we improve that previous image, the diagram we had? How can we make it more informative? Right? I put it back up. They're talking. I move around the class. What are you guys saying? What are you seeing? And as they talk, you get to see where they are. Are they thinking by themselves? So that will hopefully will help promote creativity. Because I can just get into the lesson and give them the answers, but if they talk for a while, Some of them might have even new ideas that you wouldn't have thought of on how to improve how that diagram is. Took for a while. All right, then we move into our exercise now. All right, then you say, right, this is a class exercise. We're going to copy, or they're going to copy a food chain the Word document from a shared folder on the network. I'm assessing their file management skills already as well. All right, copy it from this folder, paste it into your documents folder, open it, and start working on it. Is there anyone who doesn't understand? Any questions? Yes, sir, no, sir. Right. Let the lesson begin. When the lesson date begins, we've got the actual practical work now. If they need any assistance, like with this class, it's a grade 7 class and it's more or less related. If they do need a reminder or assistance, I have created these slideshows where we remind them, look, right, if you want to insert a shape, where do we go? Go to the Office button, go to the Insert tab, go to the Illustrations group, okay? The menu options that we have here are actually in groups, if you didn't know. I discovered it as well, like, oh, they're in groups. There it is, all right? That's where you go. This I did in Microsoft PowerPoint. I had to do the print screen option that I talked about to create this, to help my lesson move along. So the children who might have forgotten or need help, able to see what's going on. Some other skills that are there as well, how to insert a text box. Maybe you say to them, look, does anyone know how to do it? I think I made a mistake there and I had the text show it. You might have it blank and you say, oh, who can remind us how to insert a text box? Someone in the corner says, sir, you do A, B, C, D. Like, great. This is what he's talking about. Then the picture comes up, then the text as well as there for the children to see. Right? I'm just going to switch now to the actual lesson files that I was talking about. Right? So here, this is the file that they would copy. Oh, the zoom is not very good. The resolution. So it's a simple, this is a 2-link food chain. The environmental science book from grade 7 has this. I didn't get the page number for it, my apologies, but that's what it has. But just that it's got a drawn picture of a praying mantis, it's also a grasshopper, and a plant. You now can go online, get the pictures, put them in, and say, right, let's label this. So, like we said, they're learning to create something. My battery's about to die, so that might limit the time that I might speak for. Another chart. So, we've got this, right? So we go there, we click on the text box. We're drawing it in. We show them on the praying mantis. Alright? Great, that's a simple one for this. Now we go on to a more advanced one. We've got a 3-link food chain. How does it work here? They're now supposed to add the arrows, okay? Add the arrows, let me see. Format it a bit, say, let's highlight this and format it. Let's increase the font size, or change the font color to make this diagram more helpful, more informative, things like that. Then we go to the more complex on the food we have now, alright, where we've got the convenient at the top, the levels. So they look at this like, wow, we're supposed to arrange this. Kids get time and they work in there. So definitely from your low ability, they've got something to do. The first one they can do. Middle ability should be able to complete the middle one, and then the high ability should be able to do this very well. What I have already is well, we need to have something prepared for them to see when it's completed. So I already did this and it's completed. And they're like, oh, okay, this is what we're working towards. Or this is what it's supposed to look like. Then it's showed that they say, how can we improve this? So I'm like, let's change the color of this. Maybe let's change the color of the arrows. Or maybe, look, this arrow is too close to the picture. Let's move it down a bit. And things like that, and how we can improve the work. Okay? And then, if we go back to... I like to use PowerPoint a lot in my lessons. Help me pace my lessons. You know what I'm doing next. And so, some formatting skills there, if you've forgotten them, have a look at that, and they're great. And success criteria. Because lots of children race to the work, say, I finished. But no. Have you finished? Do you have these things? So I can continue helping someone here. The boy says it's finished. If you have, check if you have those things before you say you are finished. Or do I have a labeled food chain? Do I have clear arrows? Because we talked about the quality of the work. Do I have clear labels with correct spellings? Okay? A header. with your name, class, and date, adding a head at the top. These are the skills that we're revising, that we taught earlier on, or we could be teaching at that point in time, things that they can add to improve the quality of their work. Right? Then you can also move on now. Then if they finish their work, so if you finished, check your work for errors, make sure you've met the success criteria, and save your files. They've got a shared drive system that we have at Hartman House where they save their work in. So make sure you've handed it in, then you can put your hand up. Okay, so this is the how of how can we use the basics that eLearner has given us. Sorry, Viola, for taking this out of the folder that you gave us. We've got a lesson here. I've taken this and I said, well, what are my students' needs? Then I've got my students' needs. I've talked to the class teacher and I'm able to make something that helps them revise their ICT skills at the same time of reinforcing work that they do in class as far as environmental science and education is concerned. Let me show you some work of some boys from from 2 years ago. They're now in Form 2. This is the one where they labeled. So he added these labels, put the border around him, put his name at the top right there, so it's not too clear for you to see. Like I said, I'm teaching them how to label a diagram. Now this chap was now with the water cycle. So we've got to zoom in for us to get some help. Okay, so we've got the water cycle. He started adding things now. It's got notations as well to it. So this is printed out. It can be their notes for computers and also in their notes for science. Because the class teacher's like, right, we're going to do science. Instead of opening the boring diagram in the textbook, the kids are something that they made as well, which is more exciting for them. And it comes together, So yeah, I don't know if there are any questions or any comments on what I was going to say.
Well, thank you so much. I think obviously, as you can see, as a computer teacher, you can come up with lots of ideas. And you've got the guideline to get maybe some of the skills. This is what we're talking about. Things whereby you also think outside the box. If you check on this lesson, there is interaction between the class teacher and the computer teacher. Is that okay? And if the class teacher sees that diagram, do you think next time you will be on the board drawing that structure? No. I don't think so. So what you need to do, these are the things that will motivate these teachers to say, check, I don't know anything about the life cycle, the water life cycle. I've done it at the primary school level. I did it